Hey friends, Amanda here, Bare Bones Living. Welcome back to my kitchen. Welcome back to What's Cooking Wednesday. And today is a special episode of What's Cooking Wednesday because it's also in conjunction with the Freezer Frenzy collaboration being put on by Ashley over at CNC Farm. And now, when she asked me if I wanted to participate in this, I said, I don't do freezer meals. I don't have time to sit and make a bunch of meals specifically to go into the freezer for another day. But I was like, what I do is if I make a meal, I usually double it so that I can have one to eat and then one to put away in my freezer, or maybe sometimes it ends up, when I double it, I really like triple or quadruple it, so I'll end up with like 5 or 6 chicken pot pies or something like that. I figure if I'm gonna make it, I might as well make a bunch so that, again, I have what I need for dinner, and then I can put the rest in the freezer for another day. So that's what I'm bringing you today. I'm just gonna make a simple shepherd's pie. We have mashed potatoes that I need to use, and it's something that even the baby can eat. So I'm gonna show you my recipe for that real quick, and I'll show you what it turns out looking like, and then how I'm going to be freezing that for later. So I feel like shepherd's pie is a very, it's a fairly simple dish, but it can have a lot of really awesome flavor. And is sometimes overlooked. So this is just 2 pounds of ground beef that I'm going to be browning here. My ground beef is still fairly frozen, so I'm cooking this really low to try to thaw that a little bit more so I can break it up and start browning this meat before I add in my onions and garlic. So while this is continuing to brown up, I'm going to add the 2/3 of a cup of chopped onion and the 4 cloves of minced garlic. And I really want to get some dark color on my ground beef. Now that my meat has cooked all the way and it's starting to brown up, I'm going to sprinkle on flour. It would be for one recipe, it's 3 tablespoons of flour. For 2 it would be 6, but that's the same as 3/4 of a cup of flour. So that was 3/4 of a cup of flour. I'm going to mix that in and cook off the raw flour for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to add in all of my flavoring. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or liquid aminos. And a quart of chicken broth. And I'm going to use that chicken broth to deglaze the bottom of the pan here. From the ground beef and the flour. And I'm going to simmer this for about 5 minutes until it starts to thicken up a little bit. So at this time it is now thickened. I'm going to add in my frozen vegetables. It's just a vegetable medley, whatever you want. I don't buy mixed vegetables, so I'm just adding about a cup of each of my vegetables that I want. And then I'll check the ratio after I mix it in. But you want about 2 cups of vegetables per pound of meat. And I think we're about there. And now I'm going to taste it and then salt and pepper to taste. So now this filling is done, and I'm going to just transfer enough to this casserole dish to fill up this portion, and I'm gonna top it with my mashed potatoes. And I think that's probably all I really want to put in this one. So the rest of this I will freeze for another meal. And then this one, I'm gonna take the mashed potatoes that we already had made, and I'm just going to lay the mashed potatoes on top of it. And then I'm gonna bake it at 400 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we will be all ready. All right, so we have our meal for tonight, and then I actually had enough for another 2 of this size of a casserole for the freezer. And I used to have, or I do have somewhere, those disposable tin pie tins, but as with moving, I still have yet to find them apparently, so I'm just gonna put them in freezer bags. But I'll just have to thaw this out, throw it in here, and top it with whatever potato I want. One thing that we did try that I really did enjoy is, instead of using regular white potatoes, I topped it with sweet potatoes, and that was absolutely delicious. A wonderful sweet mixed with savory dish for a different twist. Really, really liked it. So I hope that gave you guys some inspiration on something that you guys can do for your family if you don't already. Instead, I mean, if you're gonna make it, why not make 2 or 3 meals out of it? I'm gonna have 2 more meals for a later date. That was a perfect serving for our family, and I'll have pre-measured out other meals that I can change up what I put on top of it. I'm super happy to put this into my freezer. Definitely check out all the other freezer meals, people contributing freezer meals. This is an open collaboration. If you want to participate, just use the hashtag freezermeals23. I think in the beginning I said freezer friendly. Frenzy, that's not correct. Freezermeals23 hashtag, and that will link you to all the other recipes and collaborators. Totally open, anyone can join, and I'm hoping that I can do a couple more of these because this spring is going to be really busy for us, and it's always a great thing when you can have some ready-made meals in the freezer for your family. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.